before going to talk in detail about derivative, we should know two terms. One is rate of change, another is slope. Now we consider a body moving in a plane, and you know one plane can be explained on the basis of two-dimensional coordinate system. Suppose P and Q be two positions of the body in the two-dimensional coordinate system. Now this will be x1, this will be y1, this one will be x2, and this distance will be y2. Suppose you have been asked to find the rate of change of position of the particle along y-axis with respect to the rate of change of position of the particle along x-axis. What change is going on in the position along x-axis? This is the change in the position of the body along x-axis, and this one will be the change in position of the same body along y-axis. So del x can be written as x2 minus x1, and del y is equal to y2 minus y1. Now we see that for del x change in position of the body along x-axis, the change in position along y-axis becomes del y. Therefore, for unit change in position along x-axis, the change along y-axis will be del y by del x. This is what we know about rate of change in position of the body along y-axis with respect to the change in its position along x-axis. Understood? So in this way we can calculate the rate of change of one physical quantity with respect to another physical quantity. Here we have considered one example where we see that a particle shifts its location from point P to point Q, and we have been asked to find the rate of change in its y coordinate with respect to change in its x coordinate. Here x coordinate of the particle at point P will be x1 equal to 1, and that for point Q will be x2 is equal to 3. Y coordinate of the particle at point P is given by y1 is equal to 2, and that at point Q is y2 is equal to 5. So change in x coordinate is del x equal to x2 minus x1. So x2 is 3, x1 is 1, it will be 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, and the corresponding change in y coordinate of the particle is given by del y is equal to y2 minus y1 is equal to 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So rate of change in y coordinate with respect to change in x coordinate of the moving body while shifting its location from point P to point Q will be del y by del x is equal to 3 by 2 is equal to 1.5. So I think you have understood what is meant by rate of change. Now we are moving to explain the term slope. We are going to consider a two-dimensional coordinate system, and OAB a straight line. Slope of this straight line will be tan theta, where theta is the angle made by the straight line with the positive direction of x-axis. So slope of straight line OA is equal to tan theta. How to find tan theta? We need to consider one right angle triangle OAB, where OB is equal to del x and AB is equal to del y. So tan theta is equal to perpendicular AB by base OB. This is equal to del y by del x. Now if you consider this curve AB, then what will be its slope? What we need to do? We have to extend the straight line AB in backward direction so that we can find out the angle made by the extended part of the straight line AB with the positive direction of x-axis. Let this angle be theta. Here also slope will be tan theta. Tan theta we can calculate using this concept. So if we want, we can find out the slope of the straight line AB using this small triangle ABC. Here slope will be tan theta is equal to BC by AC. Tan theta becomes BC by AC. Okay. Here we have considered two straight lines OA and OB, and we are to compare the slope of these two straight lines. For this purpose, we have to consider two angles made by the two straight lines OA and OB with the positive direction of x-axis, and say these angles are theta A and theta B respectively. Here we see that theta A is greater than theta B, so tan theta A is greater than tan theta B implies slope of the straight line OA is coming greater than slope of the straight line OB. If the slope is more, then the straight line will be more steeper. You have to remember this. Here we have considered one curve OP drawn in the two-dimensional coordinate system. A and B are 2 points situated on the curve, and we are interested to find out the slope of the curve. So we know slope is equal to tan theta, where theta is the angle made by a straight line with the positive direction of x-axis. But in between 2 points A and B, we are not getting a straight line, we are getting a curved line. Okay, so now what we need to do so that we can find out the slope of the curve? There are two possible cases. We can shift the point A very close to B, or we can shift the point B very close to A. On shifting the point A very close to B, what we can consider? We can consider this portion of the curve as a straight line. We can magnify this portion here. Suppose these are 2 points A and B, and this portion becomes a straight line. Now we can consider one right angle triangle, and this curve AB, that is this portion straight line, is now making an angle theta with the horizontal direction. Say this distance is del x and this distance is del y. As we have considered this A is very close to B, what will be the measure of this del x? This del x will approach towards 0 and this del y will also approach towards 0 because this y coordinate will be regulated by this x coordinate, and the general equation of this curve is y is equal to some constant into x square. From this relation we can say that if the change in x coordinate, that is del x, is approaching towards 0, the corresponding change in y coordinate will also tend towards 0. Under this condition, the 2 points A and B will lie one over another. That is, the 2 points A and B on the curve will be a common point. Therefore, slope of the line AB will be tan theta is equal to BC by AC is equal to limit del x tends to 0 del y by del x. What is the use of writing limit del x tends to 0 here? This limit del x tends to 0 simply represents whatever change we are considering in x coordinate, it is very small and the value is nearly equal to 0. Okay, in detail you will get to know about limit in mathematics. This limit del x tends to 0 del y by del x is also written as dy by dx, and this one is known as derivative of y with respect to x. In other words also you can say rate of change of y with respect to the change in x. Understood? Now another thing, whenever you are considering A is very close to B, then this portion you cannot show in the diagram. In fact, you have to consider that B and A both are lying at a same point. We can write here A comma B. This point is now given two names, either A or B, and what will be this line AB? This will become a tangent. What is a tangent? A tangent is a straight line that will touch a curve at a particular point. Okay, this angle is theta, and here tan theta is equal to dy by dx. Understood? Now what conclusion we can draw on derivative? Derivative of y with respect to x is the slope drawn to the y versus x curve at a particular point. Now I am going to explain the use of derivative in physics. Suppose displacement of a moving object at any time t is given alpha t plus beta t square. This expression can be written as function of t. Means what? Means we have been provided with the expression of displacement that will involve time t. Okay, now velocity of the moving body can be written as derivative of displacement with respect to time t, that is ddt of s, or you can say ds dt. Understood? Suppose we have been provided with the expression of velocity in terms of time t. This can be written as v is equal to function of t. Understood? Function of t means any expression that will involve time t, like this. So acceleration of the body will be derivative of velocity with respect to time t. If the velocity of the moving body is given as the function of displacement, not in terms of time t, then acceleration will be derivative of velocity with respect to time t. Since velocity is not contained time, in fact it is containing displacement, so we can write here dv by ds multiplied by ds by dt. So dv by ds, what does this represent? ds by dt. ds by dt is velocity, so you can write a velocity. This velocity should be written before dvds. So ultimately we are getting what? V dvds as the expression of acceleration. So you have to remember these things. Whenever velocity is given in terms of time t, say it is alpha root t, then you have to do derivative of velocity with respect to time t in order to obtain the acceleration of the particle whose velocity is given. Understood? But if you are getting in the expression or in the numerical problem velocity as a function of displacement, say it is beta s, then you have to proceed like this. You have to directly write down acceleration equal to velocity into derivative of velocity with respect to s. Okay, now I am going to write down all the formulae related to derivative that we have to use while solving the numerical in physics. Number 1, d dx of k. Here k is a constant and x is a variable, means we are going to consider derivative of any constant with respect to any variable. This can be written as dk by dx. Since k is equal to constant, its change dk will be 0. Its change dk will be 0 because constant will not change. This will be equal to 0. Number 2, d dx of x to the power n is equal to n into x to the power n minus 1. So example we are considering d dx of x to the power 3. So it will be 3 into x to the power 3 minus 1 is equal to 3 into x square. Another example we are considering d dx of x. What will be the power of x here? 1. d dx of x to the power 1. So this will be 1 into x to the power 1 minus 1. This will be simply 1 into x to the power 0 is equal to 1. Number 3, d dx of y to the power n is equal to n into y to the power n minus 1 multiplied by dy by dx. Example we are considering d dt of s to the power 3. This will be 3 into s to the power 3 minus 1 ds by dt. This is equal to 3 into s square ds by dt. Number 4, if we get this type of thing, d dx of one constant multiplied by variable, that constant will automatically come out of the derivative. So we have to write k d dx of x to the power n. Now this formula we need to use. d dx of x to the power n is equal to n into x to the power n minus 1. K will remain as it is, n into x to the power n minus 1. One example we are considering d dx of say 2 x to the power 2. It will be 2 into d dx of x to the power 2, that is x square, is equal to 2 into x to the power 2 minus 1. Simply we will get 4x. Understood? Number 5, d dx of u plus or minus v. What are u and v representing here? U and v are function of x, or u and v are variables. Then we will get d dx of u plus or minus d dx of v. Number 6, d dx of u into v. U and v are variables. So here we will get u multiplied by dv by dx plus v multiplied by du by dx. Later on I will show you the examples related to formula 5 and 6. Number 7, d dx of u divided by v. This will be equal to v multiplied by du by dx minus u multiplied by dv by dx. Okay, now I am going to show you the examples on formula 5. Suppose we have ddx of x plus 3. This will be ddx of x plus ddx of 3. Since 3 is a constant, this will be 0 and ddx of x equal to 1. Now I am going to show you example on the basis of this formula 6. ddx of x multiplied by y square. So x we are considering as u and y square we are considering as v. This is equal to x multiplied by ddx of y square plus y square multiplied by ddx of x. This will be simply x into 2 into y to the power 2 minus 1. Since variables are different, we have to write dy by dx plus y square ddx of x equal to 1. 2x y multiplied by dy by dx plus y square. Another example I am considering on the basis of formula 7. ddx of x square by y. This will be y square y multiplied by ddx of x square minus x square multiplied by ddx of y is equal to y square. This will be simply 2x to the power 2 minus 1 minus x square. It will remain as it is. So ultimately what we will get? We will get ddx of x square by y is equal to 2x into y minus x square dy by dx. ddx of e to the power x, it will be e to the power x 9. ddx of e to the power mx. First we have to write e to the power mx. Thereafter we have to do derivative of this power mx e to the power mx. Since m is a constant, it will come out of the derivative. Then ddx of x. So we will get m into e to the power mx. Okay, so the formula is ddx of e to the power mx is equal to m into e to the power mx. Now if it is ddx of e to the power mx square, then what will be the result? It will be e to the power mx square multiplied by ddx of mx square is e to the power mx square. M will come out of the derivative as because it is a constant. ddx of x square is equal to e to the power mx square multiplied by m into 2x to the power 2 minus 1 is equal to 2mx e to the power mx square. Number 10, ddx of root x is equal to 1 by 2 root x. This one can be proved easily. ddx of root x can be written as ddx of x to the power half is equal to half into x to the power half minus 1. What formula I have used here? ddx of x to the power n is equal to n into x to the power n minus 1. Okay, this formula I have used here. Half x to the power half minus 1, that is minus half 1 by 2 1 by root x implies ddx of root x equal to 1 by 2 root x. Proved. Number 11, d dx of log x is equal to 1 by x. Number 12, d dx of log a plus bx, this will be 1 by a plus bx, d dx of a plus bx, 1 by a plus bx multiplied by d dx of a plus d dx of bx is equal to 1 by a plus bx multiplied by d dx of a is equal to 0. A we are considering constant, b is also constant, so b will come out of the derivative. 0 plus b multiplied by d dx of x, so we have to write 1 by a plus bx multiplied by b into d dx of x equal to 1. So the final result is b by a plus bx, and this was for derivative of log a plus bx with respect to x. So the constant which is present as the multiplicative factor with the variable, that will come in the numerator, and the whole thing after logarithm it will come in the denominator. Number 13, d dx of sin x is equal to cos x. Number 14, d dx of sin mx is equal to cos mx multiplied by d dx of mx, cos mx multiplied by m into d dx of x, where m is a constant. So the final expression is m into cos mx. Number 15, d dx of sin theta, x and theta both are different variables. For this we will get cos theta multiplied by d theta by dx. 16, d dx of cos x, it will be minus sin x. 17, d dx of cos mx, just like this we have to write minus m sin mx. 18, d dx of cos theta is equal to minus sin theta d theta by dx. Next, d dx of 10x is equal to sec square x, d dx of cot x equal to minus cosec square x, d dx of sec x is equal to sec x tan x, d dx of cosec x equal to minus cosec x cot x.